All right, welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to VIERA Regional Park for the main event of the day. 14U, SUNTREE, VIERA, and Port Orange. Battle of the Hawks, the final game of the day. Jackson, I'm excited for this one.
Me too, Caleb. And yeah, it's been a long day of football, and it gets capped off with the finale and arguably the best game of the day in 14U. We do have rosters for this one, luckily, so we can give all the players their acclamation. VIERA Hawks are led by Coach Chad Pulliam as both teams take the field here as we get set to start the 14U game. The Hawks will kick off from their own 35-yard line here. The last game of the evening for everyone still watching, still with us all day. Thank you for tuning in all day to the Brevard Sports Network. And you got a good one on tap here. So here comes the kickoff coming up here. We'll kick off from the 40-yard line.
I'd like to thank our first sponsor of this game, Kel Clean.
To kick off is going to be number 8 for VIERA. That is Noah Renez. And Renez's kick is going to be received by one of the up men. And he's going to take it up the middle. He's going to try and bounce it outside. He'll be wrapped up and brought down just around the 40-yard line. That one was returned by number 10, Nicholas Caputo. First down, Port Orange at their own 40-yard line. Again, as we get set to start. First down, Port Orange. Well, on the day, we have 6 games so far. VIERA up 3-2. So we'll see if we go out on a day with a 3-3 record for these two teams, or VIERA would have the advantage 4-2 if they would win this one. First down, Port Orange at their own 43-yard line. Solid starting position there after the kick return by Caputo. First down and 10. As in the gun will be quarterback number 28, Landon Pfaffel.
We're waiting on something. Can I please have no kids under the scaffolding? No kids under the scaffolding, please.
First down, Port Orange again. Waiting on something here to get started. There's the whistle. First down, Port Orange at their own 43-yard line. Pfaffel in the gun. Pfaffel drops, rolls right side. The pressure's there immediately. Pfaffel rolling out. He'll get flushed out. He'll get the boom laid by number 17 on the hit. That is Jacob Klein. That'll bring up 2nd and 13 for Port Orange at their own 40-yard line. Second and 13 now for Port Orange at their own 40-yard line. The first down run by Pfaffel. He got lit up.
I want to say Klein laid the wood.
Lowered the shoulder. Hit him right in the gut. Second and 13 now for Port Orange. Here comes 2nd and 13. The blitz again. Pfaffel somehow escapes, but he'll slip. And that'll be a loss of 8 to bring up a 3rd and 22. What a start by the VIERA Hawk defense and that penetration.
Setting the tone early.
That D-line putting pressure on every play. Pfaffel will come out here, talk to his coach. So again, 3rd and I believe 22. 3rd and 19 actually here for Port Orange at their own 33-yard line. 3rd and 20. Back in the gun again is Faffel. Faffel just takes up the middle. He's going to bounce to the outside. Faffel running it down the sideline. Can he get there? He'll be pushed out around the line. He needed to gain. A big run by quarterback Landon Faffel. And he will pick up the Port Orange first down. A 21-yard run by Landon Faffel for the first down.
Great job there, realizing he had to make a play, and the play was there to be made.
First down and 10 by Port Orange at the VIERA 46-yard line.
Hand off there to number 10.
Number 10 is Nicholas Caputo.
And he was taken down by Donovan Richardson of the SUNTREE VIERA HAWKS.
Good carry there, but no gain pretty much there, as that's going to be a gain of 1. It'll be 2nd and 9 for Port Orange. Second and 9 now for Port Orange. As trying to guess the snap. There you go. Blitz right up ahead. Ball's out. Fumble on the field, and that looks to be VIERA football.
Yes, it was.
And there you go. Turnover there on the fumble recovery by the VIERA Hawks. First down, VIERA, and they'll take over for their first offensive drive of the game. Big fumble recovery there on the handoff.
Look, well time on the snap. Happened to get back there just enough. Got just enough fingertips on the ball to disrupt the exchange. And great job. Great job by defense, getting your offense the ball off the turnover.
First down and 10, VIERA at their own 48-yard line.
Looks like number 8, the quarterback.
That is number 8 would be. I don't see a number 8.
I also do not see a number 8.
That's number. Oh, it looks to be number 8. Maybe. Whistles before the play. False start on VIERA, so that'll back him up to a 1st and 15. 1st and 15 back to their own 42-yard line. First and 15, VIERA back to their own 23-yard line.
Not how you want to.
Oh, number 8, Noah Renez.
Oh, okay.
There you go. There is a number 8 for VIERA.
Yeah, Noah Renee.
Noah Renee, drop back here. 1st and 15, Renee throwing to the far side, has a man, overthrows him by a step. Incomplete. That'll bring up 2nd and 15 now from their own 43-yard line.
He overthrew his receiver, but you see how pretty that spiral was.
It was a nice throw, just a little one step ahead. Line judge says 3rd down. It is 3rd down, so maybe a loss of down on false start again. Guess that is some rule I was unaware of. 3rd and 15 now for VIERA. Handoff, and that handoff is messed up. And now Port Orange dives back on it. First down, Port Orange Hawks as they get the ball back on a fumble recovery of their own. Number 12, Kevin Bell on the fumble recovery.
Both defenses starting the day or setting the tone early, getting disruptive and causing turnovers. I think this game's going to come down to which offense cannot make the mistake and sustain the drive.
Yeah, back-to-back fumbles there on handoffs, nothing forced. First down, Port Orange at the VIERA 41-yard line. 1st and 10, Port Orange. And this will be a game where you see a little bit more decision-making on 4th downs, more punt ability, probably longer field goal ability. Alone in shotgun. Faffel drops the snap again, driving it forward, but he'll be stuffed for no gain. Good job by VIERA staying home there. Faffold picked up the drop snap. Didn't get any gain. Oh, a gain of 1. 2nd and 9 for Port Orange at the Viera 40-yard line. As we got a timeout by Port Orange here. 5:33 to go in the first quarter. Our game still knotted up 0-0. Port Orange will have a 2nd and 9 coming up.
Like to thank one of our many sponsors today, Kel Clean. Kel Cleans provides the best quality cleaning service from janitorial, tile and grout cleaning, stripping and refinishing floors, pressure washing, gutter cleaning, and roof soft washing at a very reasonable prices. Serving most of Brevard County, family-owned and operated, Kel Clean wants to make you a lifetime customer the first time. Call for your free estimate at 321-505-7006 or check them out online at www.kelclean.com or find them on Facebook under @KelClean. That's Kel and Clean with a K.
So here we go. 2nd and 9 now for Port Orange at the Viera 40-yard line. Solid field position gained after the fumble recovery. 5.5 minutes to go in the first quarter. Our game still knotted up at 0. Second and 9 coming up here. Port Orange has 3 backs. 4 behind the line of scrimmage. Right in the middle is number 34 now. That is Elisha Tillman. Running up the middle, though, is number 43, and he'll be brought down after no gain. 43 is Michael Fawcett. And he didn't get anywhere there before the Viera defensive line crashed on him. 3rd and 10 now for Port Orange at the Viera 41-yard line.
And here they come, little sugar huddle.
3rd and 10 from the Viera 41-yard line. Play fake. And he's going to take off, but he'll be stuffed there. That again, number 34, Elijah Tillman. 4th and 8 coming up here for Port Orange from the Viera 39-yard line. We'll see what the decision is from the coaching staff here on 4th down. On 4th and 8.
I don't see a punter coming in.
No, I wouldn't punt. I think they're in good territory here. That, early in the game you want to set the tone, and you're in Viera territory. 4th and 8. I feel like you can get it here if you're Port Orange. And I believe they keep the offense on the field still running 3 backs. Elijah Tillman, the quarterback here. Tillman, he's going to take off left, but he'll be brought down right at the line of scrimmage. Immediately there was number 72, which is
Ryan Kramer.
Ryan Kramer with the big hit to lead the charge. And we got a water break and a turnover on downs here with 4:11 to go in the first quarter. Still knotted up 0-0.
I'd like to thank our partnership with Kel Clean. Bringing our next sponsor, Connect Sports Funding and Consulting. Connect Sports Consulting and Funding. Does your team or organization need funding? Let Connect Sports Funding do all the work. Check them out online at www.connectsportsconsulting.com.
So coming up out of the timeout or the water break, it'll be 1st and 10 for Viera at their own 40-yard line following their turnover on downs. Great play on the defense. Again, 4:11 to go in the first quarter. Still knotted up 0-0. First down Viera at their own 40-yard line. Quarterback again is number 8. Renee gives to the left side, cutting back to the middle. He's breaking tackles, still going up the right side of the field. He's got room to run, one man to beat, and he is gone. Number 2, that is Mr. Donovan Richardson. Takes it all the way 60 yards for a Viera Hawk touchdown.
Wow.
And with 3:45 to go in the first quarter, the Viera Hawks take a 6-0 lead. Donovan Richardson bounced it outside. Initially was up the middle, bounced it outside, and took it all the way down the sideline for a touchdown.
What a play.
Donovan Richardson on the carry from the handoff by Noah Renee, as they'll line up here for, I believe, in this age group, it is the 1 point extra point. But I was wrong before, so we will see. Kicker is number 58. High snap, hold, kick is up over the crossbar and good by number 58, the kicker, Thomas Mills. The extra point, it is still a 2-point kick. So 8-0, the Viera Hawks lead here. 3:45 to go in the first quarter. Welcome back, everybody, to Viera Regional Park. The Viera Hawks have jumped out to an 8-0 lead here with 3:45 to go in the first quarter over the Port Orange Hawks here in our 14U action. Set to kick it off here for Viera, number 8, the quarterback, Noah Renee. See that a lot here in youth football. You see the quarterback play kicker a lot. And you also see that through high school. A great last year, Brady Denenberg, he played kicker too. He was a quarterback at Merritt Island. So a lot of times you see those quarterbacks duel as kickers. And a good kick here by Renee, end over end. This one will be taken by number 15, who tries to make a cut and slips down there. That was Dominic Quinones. First down, Port Orange at their own 33-yard line.
Dimitri Jean there was the one closing in on the coverage before the slip.
Yeah, good kick coverage there by Jean. First down and 10 for Port Orange at their own 32-yard line. Second drive of the game to start here. Actually, their third drive, I believe. They had one turnover on downs, one fumble lost. So definitely looking to get something going on this drive. First and 10. Port Orange at their own 32-yard line. 3.5 minutes to go in the first quarter. And what I guess you could deem the Hawk Bowl between the Viera and Port Orange Hawks. We got whistles before the play. The ref talked to one of the Viera players about something. First and 10. And rolling left, they run a speed option. They're taking it around the outside, but it'll be wrapped down for a big loss. Number 43, the ball carrier, Michael Fawcett. Multiple Hawks from Viera making the tackle there for a big loss of about 7. Second and 17 for Port Orange from their own 25-yard line.
Those Hawks will flock to the football. Listen, that's one corny joke I've made all day. Oh, two. Okay.
I don't remember the other one, but there's definitely another one.
It's been a long day.
Yeah, well. Second down and 17 now. They give up the middle. Solid carry, but the Viera Hawks D-line staying true there and forcing them back. That was number 8 on the carry, Khalil Tennant. And that is short gain. Third and 15 now for Port Orange at their own 26-yard line. Got to get some going here to avoid giving Viera the ball back here. Under 2 minutes before the end of the first quarter. Minute 45 to go in the first. Third and 15 for Port Orange. Again, the quarterback, Elijah Tillman. Tillman low, snap, handoff here to Michael Fawcett. And Fawcett still trying to fight, but the Hawks bring in some reinforcements for a big loss. Fourth and long now for Port Orange. 4th down and a trip to Disneyland for Port Orange.
Yeah.
Fourth and long here for Port Orange. It looks like they're in possibly punt formation, I would say, is Elijah Tillman, I believe, will look to punt this one away. Tillman to punt it here. Good punt by Tillman. Booming punt. It stays in bounds and rolls all the way down and out at the VIERA 43-yard line. So a good punt there by Tillman. Sets the Hawks up 1st and 10 at their own 43.
Again, like to continue to talk about some of the sponsors. The game day sponsors for SBYFL. Dick's Sporting Goods, Stacy Ann, Zeller Real Estate. Buying or selling a home? Give Stacy a call. Ice Cream Hut with 3 locations in Brevard. Stop in at the VIERA location today after the game with your jersey and get a free ice cream cone with the purchase. W&J Construction, DirecTV, GMC Melbourne, Performia Imaging, Uberzati, DSP, Mr. Delicious Pizza, your only VIERA pizza go-to.
Here comes 1st down. VIERA at their own 43-yard line. 1st and 10 coming up. Renee in the gun. Drop back. Quick throw on the screen. Too low for his receiver. That'll bring up 2nd and 10 on the quick screen incompletion. 15 seconds left in the first quarter here. The Hawks lead it 8-0 over the Port Orange Hawks here in quarter number 1. Second and 10 now for VIERA at their own 43-yard line. Quick throw screen the other way this time. He had his receiver, but it falls out of his hands, and just like that, 2 quick throws, and it's 3rd and 10 on 2 quick incompletions. 3rd and 10, VIERA at their own 43.
He was looking for number 11, Slade Pulliam, who at any moment can bust wide open.
3rd and 10 for VIERA at their own 43-yard line. They've had 2 open looks with 2 incompletions to show for it. 11 seconds to go in the first quarter. Third and 11, Renee in the gun again. Renee drops, rolls left side. He's going to take off. And Renee getting chased down, creates some space, but he'll still be brought down for a loss. 4th and long now for VIERA. And that will be the end of the first quarter. The VIERA Hawks lead the Port Orange Hawks 8-0 at the end of the first quarter of the 14U game. We'll be back with 4th down for VIERA.
Hello, Space Coast. Alan Slaughter-Zinski for the Brevard Sports Network. I just wanted to take this opportunity to thank all of you for your support of BSN and allowing us to cover your student athletes and come into your home each and every night. Give us a follow on Facebook at Brevard Sports Network, and here's to many more years of top-notch sports coverage right here in Brevard County. Thanks again.
Hey, this is Devon Dudley, and you are watching Brevard Sports Network. Oh, my brother, testify.
I'd like to thank WWE Hall of Famer, Space Coast Sports Hall of Famer, Devon Dudley, for bringing us back. Currently, him and his tag team partner, Brother Ray, hold the record for the most tag team title wins in every promotion they've been in.
Back to punt now for VIERA at their own 42-yard line on 4th and 10 is Renee. And snap. What a booming punt by Renee. High in the air, trying to track it down. He touched it. Now he's got to dive on it. Luckily, that was number 21, Keon Murray. That one bounced up and hit him, so he had to fall on it. First down, Port Orange, as they're going to look to start the second quarter with a touchdown of their own. They take over at their own 36-yard line, 1st and 10. First and 10, Port Orange at their own 36-yard line following the punt. As they trot out on the field, I believe their quarterback has been Elijah Tillman. Their first drive, it was Landon Flaffel, but we haven't seen him since. As it has been, and it still will be, Elijah Tillman. And he's alone in the gun this time. We haven't seen him pass yet. So Tillman in the shotgun. Two receivers split either way. Nope, he'll still take off. Tillman running left side. Big stiff arm there. Tillman tries to hit the gap, but he gets lit up there by number 5.
That's Xavier Floyd.
Xavier Floyd on the hit. Yeah, Elijah Tillman again. He looks to be more of a Wildcat-style quarterback, where he's either running or handing this ball off. Haven't seen him throw yet. Fafel was more prone to throwing the ball. Just over a minute into the second quarter here. Second and about 4 or 5 here for Port Orange following the Tillman carry on first. And here comes second down. Tillman give up the middle. They're back, and he gets stuffed there immediately. Number 43, Michael Fawcett on the carry. 3rd and 5 here for Port Orange at their own 41-yard line.
Xavier Floyd again, first one to make contact.
Third and 5 for Port Orange at their own 41-yard line. As the offense figures out their play. Bring up 3rd and 5 for Port Orange again at their own 41. Just under 8 minutes to go in the first half. VIERA still leading 8-0.
Empty backfield.
Trips right side. He's going to take off. Tillman slips there. And that will be no gain. 4th and 5 still now for Port Orange as Tillman's run. He slips down there. Turf seems to be slippery for these guys today. 4th and 6 now for Port Orange at their own 40-yard line. And it looks like Tillman back to punt once again. And Tillman catches it, boots that one down. A nice booming punt there, end over end. VIERA trying not to touch it. That one will be downed by Caleb Brown.
Whoa, I got skinny.
And a little bit younger.
Yeah. Can't really see the age through, but you know what? You can definitely tell a size difference.
What do you mean? That's the same old Caleb Brown we always have up here. 14, 13-year-old Caleb Brown. You guys think I'm the youngest one here? You'd be mistaken. That young man right there.
Yes, I am the young man with the voice way deeper than yours.
How is he up here right now? There's one down there, one up here.
Clone technology.
Punt down by Caleb Brown and the Port Orange Hawks. First down. VIERA Hawks at their own 30-yard line. Renee, low snap, throwing to the near side on the out route. It's hauled in, and there's Caleb Brown once again laying the hit on number 11, Slade Pulliam.
But no, folks, there is an actual player named Caleb Brown for Port Orange.
Number 1. Spelled with the K, though.
Yes.
There is a distinction there. Makes the tackle there on Slade Pulliam after a gain of about 3. 2nd and 7 now for the VIERA Hawks. Noah Renee under center now. 2 backs behind him. Handoff up the middle, and he's got space to run a little bit there, and he gets down near the line to gain. That's number 19. Isaiah Jones on the carry. That'll bring up 3rd and short, 3rd and 1 here for VIERA at their own 39-yard line. 5:40 to go in the first half. Hawks lead by 8. Third and 1 for the Viera Hawks at their own 39-yard line. 5 minutes, 5:20 to go. Quick throw on the quick screen. This one is completed, and they'll try and turn it upfield, but not for long. But they got enough to get the Hawks a first down. That was number 7, I believe, which is Hudson Warner. And we got a timeout. Water break on the field. 5:16 to go in the second quarter. The Viera Hawks lead Port Orange 8-0. They have 1st and 10 coming up.
I'd like to say thank you again to another one of our partners, Slow and Low Barbecue Bar and Grill. Slow and Low Barbecue was founded by Nicole and Joel Smith in 2004. Despite a difficult year with Hurricanes Francis and Jean, with heart and dedication, they managed to open another restaurant in Viera. Slow and Low Barbecue focuses on each customer's happiness and preferences. Their experienced chefs put a creative twist on every dish, always preparing crispy, appetizing, and delicious ribs, smoked pork, chicken, beef, and enormous turkey legs, almost as big as the ones you see out in Disney. Always expect impeccable service and one-of-a-kind barbecue. Stop by either location before, during, and now after the game, especially in Viera on Friday nights for that location is the home of the BSN High School Football postgame show.
Here we go. 1st and 10 Viera at their own 42-yard line. And Renee gets them to jump, I believe. Flags flying. Yeah, they came on the Viera side, so Viera jumps first. False start. That'll be 1st and 15 now for Viera back at their own 37-yard line. Tough break there for them. First and 15 now. Renee drops, fires over the top, has his man. Oh! Ooh. Nearly the diving interception. We have a flag near the line to gain. Young man gets his push-ups in after the dropped interception. That was number 27 on the coverage, Daniel Blake.
But that was a late flag near the line of scrimmage.
Yeah. Let's see what the white hat calls.
False start.
False start. That was very late. That was after the ball was thrown.
I can't remember last time I saw a false start called that late, but maybe you know what? The flag was deep in his pocket, and so he had trouble getting it out for a second.
1st and 20 now for Viera. Now you see no loss of down on the false start, so still a little confused on that. A lot of movement here before the play. Looks like an audible. 1st and 20 now for Viera back at their own 22-yard line or 32-yard line. Got to get something going here, but it is still 1st down. Renee drops again. Fires looking left side as he gets hit. Coming down to the ball. It'll be hauled in on the ground. What a catch by, I believe, Slade Pulliam. I believe that is. He hauls that in on the, well, actually, I think it might have been ruled incomplete. My eyes deceived me there. 2nd and 20 still for Viera at their own 32. Good effort by Pulliam trying to get low for that ball, but I guess it hit the ground. 2nd and 20 now for Viera at their own 32. 4 minutes to go in the first half. The 2nd and 20 now for Viera. 2 backs to accompany Renee. He'll give a toss to the right side here, taking off. And he's got some room down the sideline again. And he'll be pushed out there after a solid game by, again, Donovan Richardson, who got them their first touchdown on a 60-yard rush. This would have been over 60 yards if he would have broke it, but he did not. But it was a solid gain on 2nd and long to bring up 3rd and a lot shorter. Only 3rd and 2 now at the 50-yard line. 3rd and 2 for the Viera Hawks now on the gain of 18 by Richardson. Here comes 3rd and 2, Vieira from the 50-yard line. Definitely a manageable 3rd down. Renee under center. Noah Renee. Movement up front, no call. Fakes to the fullback, gives to Richardson. Richardson going left side, gets the 1st down and more. And we got a flag down. I believe that might be an illegal block on Vieira. I saw a Port Orange player hit the ground.
Calling holding.
So that holding against Vieira will move him back. No longer a 1st down. It'll bring up a 3rd and long, I believe. Solid run, though, still by Donovan Richardson. But this will be 3rd and long now. 3rd and 10 for the Vieira Hawks. Back at their own 42-yard line, the initial line of scrimmage. Just under 4 minutes to go in the 2nd quarter here. 3rd down and 10, and we got a whistle. Timeout, Vieira. 3:50 to go in the 1st half. The Hawks lead, the Vieira Hawks, that is, they lead 8-0. Welcome back live to Vieira Regional Park. It's 3rd and 10 for Vieira at their own 42-yard line. Renee drops, fakes the handoff, play action, going over the top, has a man, Pulliam, just overthrown by about a step, and that'll bring up 4th and 10 for the Hawks of Vieira at their own 42-yard line. Pulliam was open there and just couldn't find him there on that one. Fourth and 10, Vieira at their own 42-yard line. 3:40 to go in the half. As they're looking to punt it here. Renee back to punt for the Hawks of Vieira. Low snap. It's a fake punt by Renee. Taking it down the sideline. Renee picks it up. On the fake punt, Noah Renee picks up the 1st down for the Vieira Hawks on a gain of about 12 or 13 for the 1st down.
I was told it was Renee.
1st down and 10. We got a timeout from Port Orange here with 3:33 to go in the 1st half. It'll be 1st down, Vieira coming out of the timeout. They lead 8-0. Welcome back live to Vieira Regional Park. 1st and 10, Vieira Hawks now at the Port Orange 45 following a fake punt conversion by Noah Renee. 1st down. Quarterback drops Renee. Quick screen to Pulliam. Pulliam has some blockers, but not enough here as he's going to try and get around the edge, and he will for a solid gain. Up to the 40-yard line, Slade Pulliam on the wide receiver screen and a gain of 5. 2nd and 5 now for Vieira.
See, and that's what that's what I was talking to you about earlier. He just needs a crack. You give him a crack and he'll bust a hole.
2nd and 5 now for Vieira at the Port Orange 40-yard line. Second and 5 for Vieira. Fake to the fullback, give to Richardson. Donovan Richardson up the middle, breaking tackles, going forward towards the line to gain. He will pick up. Donovan Richardson picks up the Vieira Hawk. First down up to the Port Orange 34-yard line. First down, Vieira. 2.5 minutes to go in the first half. The Hawks trying to get the last laugh here in the first half. Vieira still leads at 8-0. First down. Renee. Play fake left. He's going to roll bootleg the right way. Dodging defenders. Noah Renee down the sideline. He's still in. Breaking tackles. Noah Renee. A 30-yard touchdown run for the Vieira Hawks by quarterback Noah Renee. Breaking multiple tackles en route to the end zone. What a run by Renee. Somehow stayed in bounds while shedding multiple defenders. That's what's more impressive to me, was staying in bounds. Breaking tackles is one thing, but with your feet on the edge of the line, it's hard to do. And by Renee, great bootleg to the right side, dodging defenders on the way. 2 minutes to go in the first half. Here comes the 2-point kick attempt by their kicker. That's number 58. And they run the fake. Running right side. And Slade Pulliam takes it in. Take it in for 1. That's Slade Pulliam. And the Hawks take a 15-0 lead with 2 minutes to go in the first half. I can't determine if that was a fake or maybe a messed up hold that Pulliam picked up, but either way, Slade Pulliam takes in the PAT attempt for 1. Hawks lead at 15. The Vieira Hawks lead at 15-0. 2 minutes to go in the first half of 14U action. Back for the Vieira Hawks. Back at kicker position, the man who's been doing PAT duty, number 58, Thomas Mills. So Mills back to kick it away here. And here's the kick by Mills. Spiraling bouncer to be scooped up by one of the up men, number 44. He's taking it up the field, up the middle. He'll be brought down. Number 44 on the return was Logan White. So, again, just under 2 minutes to go here in quarter number 2. Vieira Hawks lead at 15-0 here in 14U as they try and cap off their day with a win.
Folks, I apologize for the glare that's coming into the camera. It's getting about that time of the day where that sun is going to start hitting the camera directly.
Unfortunate there. So first down for Port Orange from their own 45-yard line. 1st and 10 coming up, 1:57 to go in the first half. 15-0, Hawks of Vieira lead the Hawks of Port Orange. First and 10. First and 10 for Port Orange from their own 45-yard line. Snap received here up the middle. Elijah Tillman on the carry again. They're out of the gun for a short gain of 2. 2nd and 8 now for Port Orange from their own 47-yard line.
I believe that was number 76 on the tackle. It very easily could have been 72, Ryan Kramer.
2nd and 8 coming up for Port Orange at their own 47-yard line. A minute to go in the first half. The Port Orange Hawks looking to get themselves on the board here before the end of the first half, trailing 15-0. Here comes 2nd and 8. Tillman's first pass of the game, a wobbler. It's hauled in by number 28. That was the starting quarterback, Landon Faffel, and they find him at receiver now. And Tillman's first pass is a big completion, but a flag on the play.
And I think it's going to be illegal man downfield.
Wow. It's the big catch by Faffel, negated by the penalty. I mean, that's what I guess a quarterback like Tillman who's prone to running. I think those linemen got used to running it downfield with the blocks, and he dropped back to pass on that one.
Well, it can happen with anyone at quarterback. You know, you're blocking somebody, they shed you, and naturally you go upfield. But they say once you get past line of scrimmage, you're supposed to just take a knee. So it happens, and sometimes those linemen get put in tough spots there.
2nd and 13 now for Port Orange now from their own 42-yard line. In the shotgun again, Tillman going to take off left side, cut back in, finds a gap, breaking tackles, and he'll pick up a solid gain of about 7 there. 3rd and 3 now for Port Orange from the 50-yard line. The VIERA Hawks take a timeout with 21 seconds to go in the first half. VIERA leads Port Orange 15-0. When we come back from timeout, it'll be 3rd and 5 for Port Orange from the 50-yard line.
I'd like to thank Ubrzati for their partnership. Ubrzati is a set of scientifically developed protocols that have been refined and perfected over the last 20-plus years to rapidly develop athletes beyond their normal capabilities and build and sustain speed, power, agility, and endurance with optimal running form and efficiency that translates to peak performance and injury prevention in whatever the athlete competes in. Give them a call at 321-412-5972 for serious athletes only.
3rd and 5 now for the Port Orange Hawks from the 50-yard line. They only got 21 seconds here before halftime. The VIERA Hawks leading 15-0. Actually, 3rd and 4 now from the Hawk 49-yard line. The VIERA Hawks 49-yard line. Third and 4 for Port Orange now. Here it comes, 3rd and 4. Tillman in the gun, trips left side. Tillman takes off left side. And Tillman finds a gap down the sideline. He's still up. He steps out around the 35-yard line, but a big run by Elijah Tillman. And he moves the change for Port Orange up to the 30.
"12 seconds left in the half.
12 seconds left. First down, Port Orange at the VIERA Hawk 33-yard line. A gain of 16 on that run. 13 seconds to go in the half. And again, Port Orange is trying to get some points on the board here before halftime. Here it goes, 1st and 10, Port Orange at the VIERA 33-yard line. 13 seconds to go. Tillman, 2 receivers split either way. Trips left side, actually. So 5 wide. Tillman takes off again, left side. Elijah Tillman, he'll get pushed out inside the red zone with only 6 seconds to go in the half. Inside the red zone now for Port Orange, but they're going to only have one more play here. So they're going to have to get a little bit more on this one.
And I think you're going to see a change at quarterback.
A flag on the play here. Unsportsmanlike conduct on VIERA.
Wow. That's a big penalty there.
Wow. 1st and goal most likely now for Port Orange.
I mean,
not 1st and goal, but 1st down at the VIERA 14-yard line now. And we got a timeout by VIERA. 6 seconds to go in the second quarter. VIERA leads Port Orange 15-0. Port Orange will have 1st and 10 from the VIERA 14 with 1 shot, most likely to the end zone.
I would not want to be in that huddle right now because you know the conversation that's happening. Coach is asking him, what were you thinking? A detrimental penalty like that at this time in the game, at this part of the field.
My foot was worse.
But then also turn around and tell the kids, look, this is what we're running. Calm down and let's keep this shutout going into halftime.
Got to go pick up the stop if you are VIERA. 14 yards out for Port Orange as they still have a goose egg on the scoreboard that they want to alleviate. First down and 10 for Port Orange at the VIERA 12-yard line. 6 seconds to go. Most likely 1 shot to the end zone here before halftime. Tillman in the gun. Elijah Tillman drops. He's going to fire. End zone has a man. And Faffel close at the goal line. Touchdown, Port Orange Hawks. And they do get it in at the buzzer. Landon Faffel, their initial starting quarterback, but now successfully moving to receiver for the touchdown. And he gets Port Orange on the board on the last play of the first half. Landon Faffel there on the touchdown pass. Hey, Tillman can throw.
Yes, he can.
Good throw there. See what they do on the extra point here. They're going to line up for the 1-yarder. Thinking about calling a timeout. They will. Port Orange calls a timeout. Well, with 000 on the clock here, all they're trying to do is get this conversion going.
I like the timeout. Make sure you know what you want to do. Make sure everybody's on the same page because you don't want to derail the momentum by missing this point after touchdown here. You get the point after touchdown. You cut it to 8. You go into halftime down 8.
It looked like they were going to go for 1 here from the goal line here. 15-6. VIERA currently leads before pending the extra point for Port Orange. Here we go. Here comes the conversion for Port Orange before the end of the half. Port Orange going to go for 1 here. Tillman and Fawcett in the backfield. Fawcett switching sides, moving up to the line. Tillman alone in the gun for the 1-point conversion. Tillman rolling left side, looking firing corner of the end zone, overthrows his receiver. And that is the end of the first half here from Viera Regional Park. And the last game of the day, 14U, the Viera Hawks lead the Port Orange Hawks 15-6. We'll be back soon with the start of the second half.
All right, welcome to the Brevard Sports Network. Back for second half action between SUNTREE VIERA Hawks and the Port Orange Hawks 14U. Again, I'm going to apologize now. We're getting about that time of day where the glare in that camera, it's going to get ugly. Sun's starting to set, and it's coming directly where the camera is, so I apologize. I'm going to try to work around it the best I can and give you the best picture possible. But I can only do so much about Mother Nature.
Last play of the first half. The Port Orange Hawks got on the board with a touchdown, so now the VIERA Hawks lead at 15-6 here to start the second half. Kicking off for Port Orange is number 64, Braden Olson. He will get this second half started here in just a moment. So here we go. Braden Olson will boot it away here to start the second half. Bouncer scooped up by the VIERA Hawks. Upmen, and they're going to take it up the field. Breaking tackles here, pushing forward, and the Hawks will take over around their own 44-yard line. VIERA taking over now, 1st and 10 at their own 45-yard line. 1st and 10, Hawks. VIERA Hawks. They currently lead by 9 here. Looking to extend that on this drive and the rest of the second half. So here we go. 1st and 10, VIERA at their own 45-yard line. Here starting the second half. Here we go. 1st down. Renee under center tosses it to Richardson. Richardson on the trick play. The deep ball is dropped. A beautiful throw by Donovan Richardson. Flag at the line of scrimmage, though, and that'll be an illegal man downfield on VIERA. Looking for his receiver. Look like number 88, Dylan Arroyo. Arroyo, oh, a trick play. I love it. Donovan Richardson aired that one out. A perfect throw off the hands of Arroyo. 2nd and 10.
I think it's a perfectly timed one. First play coming out of the half. Take a shot.
Nice trick play. Yeah, if your running back can throw that well, why not? But falls incomplete, and a penalty pushes him back 5. 2nd and 15 now for VIERA. 1st and 15. They reserved the down, it looks like. 1st and 15, VIERA at their own 40-yard line. Here we go. First down, Pulliam in motion. Toss again to Richardson. He won't fake it this time. Hill will take off. Donovan Richardson down the sideline, cuts back, still up, still fighting inside the 40-yard line of Port Orange for a VIERA Hawks first down on a big gain of about 20-plus there by Donovan Richardson, actually running it that time, and he ran it about where that pass would have ended up. First down, VIERA at the Port Orange 37-yard line.
Sir, can I ask you to sit down, please? Yeah, if the play comes this way, it's going to...
First down and 10 for VIERA at the Port Orange 38-yard line. Renee under center. Once again, Renee fakes the handoff, play action, throwing underneath the slant route to Slade Pulliam. Pulliam trying to turn it up the sideline. He'll be wrapped up and brought down after a gain of about 5. Second down and about 5 now coming up for the VIERA Hawks. Up to the Port Orange about 32, 33-yard line for 2nd and 5. 8:20 to go in the third quarter. Second and 5 now for Vieira. Handoff to the fullback up the middle. He's trying to push forward. Port Orange is pushing back for a good stop there. Handoff up the middle, number 44. Riker Thomas on the carry. Third and 2 here for Vieira at the Port Orange 39-yard line. Third and 2. Renee taking it on the right side, pushing it upfield. Renee cuts back. I believe he's got the first. And that is Noah Renee. And he picks up a Vieira Hawk first down. Noah Renee on the quarterback keeper to the right side. Puts them inside the red zone at the Port Orange 20-yard line. Good first drive setting up for Vieira to start the second half. They're wasting time and looking to get a score here if they can. First and 10, Vieira inside the red zone at the Port Orange 20-yard line. For the time being, we do have a cloud, so a little bit of a break from the glare and the heat. And we got whistles, I believe, here. Nope. First and 10, Vieira inside the Port Orange red zone at the 20-yard line. 6:20 to go in the third quarter. Renee throwing in the out route. Caught by Pulliam. Pulliam cutting back, turning upfield for a solid gain up towards the first down line to gain. And that'll be first down, Vieira, I believe. Yep, first and goal, Vieira Hawks.
Slade Pulliam, when you need plays made, you can go to him because you know he'll be clutch.
First and goal, Vieira at the 10. First and goal to go here as they've wasted about half, nearing half of the third quarter on this opening drive. And if they can get a score out of it, that'd be a very successful drive to extend their lead. First and goal, Hawks of Vieira at the 10-yard line. First and goal, Renee drops, hands off. Donovan Richardson has good blockers ahead, but he'll be gutted and brought down after a short gain. That'll bring up second and goal now at the 6-7 yard line now for Vieira. Second and goal for Vieira now at the 7-yard line, 6-7 yard line. Second and goal here for the Hawks of Vieira here in a solid first drive to start the second half. They've wasted over half of the third quarter here on this drive. Great way to do it. Noah Renee under center. Renee, the give to the back. Trying to push forward, but he gets stuffed there. That was number 44, Riker Thomas. And it's third and goal now for Vieira at the 5-yard line. Want to get in here on one of these next two plays. Third and goal, Vieira at the 5-yard line. 4:20 to go in the third quarter. Renee, pump, play action, throwing to the far side. Slade Pulliam fumbles. It's scooped up by Port Orange. Cutting back and forth, trying to find some space. And wow, just like that, at the 1-yard line, Slade Pulliam coughs it up, and Port Orange takes over first down at their own 20-yard line. And we got a water break here with 4:03 to go in the third quarter. Vieira leads Port Orange 15-6. Trying to see who recovered that fumble. It was number 74, 75 maybe. I thought it was 70-something. That would either be Gavin Lindsley, Quinn Lachlan, or Logan Scott. One of those three may have recovered that fumble.
While we have a minute, I'd like to talk about Another one of our great partners here at the Brevard Sports Network, Best Private Investigations. It would be fantastic if people were completely honest and things like fraud, deception, and impropriety didn't exist. Unfortunately, this is the real world, and not everyone plays nice or lives life above the board. Because of this, it is sometimes necessary to seek outside investigative services. When you need an outside service, you can trust Best Private Investigations. Give them a call at 321-508-4492 or visit them online at www.bestprivateinvestigations.com.
So coming out of the timeout here will be first down and 10 for Port Orange from their own 18 or 19-yard line. Four minutes to go here in the third quarter here from VIERA Regional Park. First down and 10, Port Orange at their own 18-yard line here following the fumble recovery. Taking it out from the goal line out to the 18.
That was...
So with 4 minutes to go in the third quarter, Port Orange takes over first down and 10 from their own 18-yard line. Here we go, first and 10 for Port Orange. First and 10, Port Orange, they're an 18-yard line coming off the turnover.
So a lot of individual conversations happening inside, coming out of that huddle.
Here comes first down. And Tillman's just going to try and push it up the middle. The VIERA Hawks D-line pushes back for no gain. Second and 10 coming up for Port Orange. Still actually a gain of 1. That'll bring up second and 9 from their own 19-yard line. Three minutes to go in the third quarter. Second and 9, Port Orange from their own 19-yard line.
.240 and counting left here in quarter number 3.
See a big drive for Port Orange. They trail by 9. It would be good for them to try and cut this one back before the end of the third quarter or at the start of the fourth quarter. Second and 9 now. Elijah Tillman back in the gun. Tillman drops, fires, pump fakes. Gonna try and step up in the pocket, take off, nearly slips. Tillman still going and churning for a short gain there. Solid run by Tillman. And that'll bring up third and about 6 now from their own 21-yard line. Third and 6, Port Orange following the turnover.
I'll tell you what, today's been a hot one, but this breeze has made it very, very much manageable. Very rarely do you get breezes like this in Florida this time of year.
And the clouds are playing a nice role right now, taking that sun away.
If only they could just sit in front of the sun for the rest of the half.
I think the clouds are committing holding right now, holding that sun behind. Good blockage there. Nothing getting through.
I will treat those clouds to a steak.
Delay game on Port Orange now. That's going to back them up for third and long. And I was going to say, some of these play calls are getting a little long. Got to watch that. And that'll bring up third and long now for them. Third and 11 it'll be for Port Orange. Third and 12.
I was kind of thinking that myself. I was like, wow, they're taking a long time to get out of the huddle.
1 minute to go in the third quarter here. Port Orange has 3rd and 12 now from their own 16-yard line. Here comes 3rd down. Back to quarterback is the initial starter, Landon Faffel. He has a touchdown reception as their only touchdown. Now Faffel is going to take off. Up the middle, Faffel will be brought down fairly quickly. And that will bring up 4th down and long now for Port Orange, 4th and 10. Deep in their own territory. I expect them to punt here towards the end of the third quarter. Tough break for them. They get the fumble recovery at the goal line, but they don't get to do much out of it. So back to punt now for Port Orange is going to be I believe Elijah Tillman. Back to punt for Port Orange. Stop. Great punt. End over end by Tillman. See which way it bounces. Bounces toward the sideline. First down, VIERA. They'll take over at the Port Orange 35. And they'll take over pretty much with 22 seconds to go. It'll just be their 4th quarter. That drive they had to start the 3rd. Wasted half of the quarter, but still didn't turn out with points. I feel like they got to do that to start the 4th and then cap it off with a score.
I think that's the important thing. Yes, you want to milk time, but you'd also like another score on the board. Your defense is playing well. It's relatively limiting the Port Orange offense. I think your number one goal here is to score.
I agree there. 1st and 10 now for VIERA at their own 37-yard line. Renee under center. Renee fakes the give to the fullback, pitches it to Richardson. Richardson sheds the first tackler. Richardson taking it up the sideline. Donovan Richardson for a big gain and a first down for the VIERA Hawks. Richardson reminded me of Creasy from the last game with the way he can just shed tackles. He gets out of bounds with 12 seconds to go, and he gets up to the Port Orange 25-yard line. First down, VIERA as the ref winds it. I don't know if we'll get a playoff here. 5, 4, 3. No, and that'll be the end of the third quarter. The VIERA Hawks lead the Port Orange Hawks 15-6, and we come back to start the 4th. It'll be a VIERA 1st and 10 at the Port Orange 25-yard line.
While we have this opportunity, I'd like to thank another one of our sponsors. Thank Kel Clean. Sorry, the wind is messing with my book here. Kel Cleans provides the best quality cleaning services from janitorial, tile and grout cleaning, stripping and refinishing floors, pressure washing, gutter cleaning, and roof soft washing at very reasonable prices. Serving most of Brevard County, family owned and operated, Kel Cleans wants to make you a lifetime customer the first time. Call for your free estimate at 321-505-7006 or check them out online at www.kelclean.com and on Facebook under @KelClean. That's Kel and Clean with a K.
So here we go to start the 4th quarter. First down and 10 for VIERA at the Port Orange 25 as we have movement before the play.
And it's going to be against VIERA.
False start will bring him back to the 30-yard line. 1st and 15 now for VIERA from the Port Orange 30-yard line. First down and 15 now for Viera at the Port Orange 30. And run up the middle again to Riker Thomas. Riker Thomas on a gain of about 5 here. Gets the penalty yards back. And I'll bring up 2nd and 10 now for Viera at the Port Orange 25-yard line. Here comes 2nd and 10 for Viera at the Port Orange 25-yard line. Renee under center. Renee fakes the jet sweep, and he's going to take off by himself down the left side. Noah Renee takes it down the sidelines. And he goes down near the goal line. Surprised he didn't step out of bounds there. First and goal for Viera following the Noah Renee carry there. That'll put him, he did step out of bounds about where I thought he did. That'll be first and goal, or no, just outside the goal. First down and 10, Viera from the Port Orange 12-yard line on a gain of 13 there by Noah Renee. First down and 10, Viera inside the red zone here. High snap, Renee trips right side, throwing right side, has a man underneath, Slade Pulliam again. Pulliam fights forward, looking for the end zone. Slade Pulliam hauls it in.
And he'll be
and there's a flag down.
He was short, but there is a flag, and I believe I saw the call holding.
Holding on Viera, so that'll back him up here. So Slade Pulliam's catch and run towards the end zone will get called back. I think our luck with the clouds is over here for the rest of this one.
Yeah, I know.
That's going to move Viera back 5 yards. First and 15 now for Viera at the Port Orange 17-yard line. 8:15 to go in the game. Viera leads by 9. First down, Viera. Pitch to the right side. That's Donovan Richardson trying to find the edge. Flag down. Richardson taking it up the sideline. He'll be pushed out after a solid gain. But this might be another hold on Viera. That's going to bring him back even more. Tough break for Viera. They got really close to the goal line, but now these penalties are knocking them back farther. First and 20 now for Viera at the, well, first and 25 for Viera now at the Port Orange 27-yard line. First and 25. Penalties killing the Hawks here. They got to get all the way to the 2-yard line here. But luckily it's still first down. Here they go, first and 25. Snap, Renee surveying. Looking over the middle, through the hands of the receiver and intercepted by Port Orange. They're taking it down the sideline. He's still going, and he'll be knocked out around the 40-yard line. Number 27, Daniel Blake. And now Port Orange, for the second straight drive, has got a turnover deep inside their own territory, keeping themselves in the game with 7 minutes to go. Daniel Blake on the interception. Right through the hands of the receiver, number 7, Hudson Warner. First down, Port Orange at their own 37-yard line. That's big. Their last drive before this, they picked up the fumble at the goal line. This one, an interception inside the 10-yard line. So Viera not being able to punch it in the end zone here on these drives. 9-point game for Port Orange. 7 minutes left in this one. Still a 2-possession game. 1st and 10, Port Orange from their own 37-yard line. First down, Port Orange from their own 27. Elijah Tillman. Man in motion. That's Fawcett. Snap to Tillman. Tillman drops, fires, throws the left side. Nearly intercepted right back there. Tight coverage there, broken up by number 3. That is Dimitri Jean. 2nd and 10 now for Port Orange from their own 27. Second and 10 now for Port Orange from their own 37-yard line. Big drive here with 6.5 minutes to go. They trail by 9. Tillman takes off up the middle, and he'll be thrown down for no gain by number 8 in on the tackle. That is Renee. Noah Renee in on the tackle. 3rd and 10. And a Hawk down on the play. Clock will stop with 6:09 to go in the game. VIERA leads Port Orange 15-9.
I'd like to say a big thank you to our partners, Uberzati, Kel Clean, Slow and Low Barbecue, Best Private Investigations, Kendall Signs, Connect Sports Funding and Consulting.
So as the athlete gets up and exits the field, we head back to the field. 3rd and 9 for Port Orange at their own 38-yard line. Big drive here. I mean, not a lot of time. So, I mean, almost in a way, this is kind of like a must. I mean, it is a must-score drive for Port Orange. 3rd and 9. Clock runs here. 6 minutes to go. 3rd and 9 for Port Orange at their own 38-yard line. Tillman drops back, steps up in the pocket, airs it out to the near side, one-on-one overthrown. Looking for number 81. Looking for number 81, Kenneth Lampkin. 4th and 9 now for Port Orange at their own 38. A big play coming up here. 5:50 to go. 4th and 9 for Port Orange. They trail by 9. Big play coming for the Port Orange Hawks. And they're in punt formation. I guess they're going to trust their defense to make a stop. Looks like punt formation to me on 4th and 9. And it is a fake punt. Back to Tillman, and that's a huge loss. As VIERA wasn't fooled, number 72 on the play. Ryan Kramer, and it's first down VIERA from the Port Orange 31-yard line. A huge stop there on 4th and 9.
Wow, great open field tackle there by
Kramer,
who came pursuit on that backside.
It looked like a fake punt the way it was set up. He was deep back there. I mean, if you're going to go for it at this point in the game, I would just say straight up line up how you normally would.
I'd be thinking the same thing too, but hey. They know their players. We're up here in the booth. Nobody cares what we think. Thank you very much, sir.
1st and 10. VIERA from the Port Orange 31-yard line.
Not yet.
1st and 10. VIERA from their own 31-yard line. From the Port Orange 31-yard line. 5:20 to go in the game. Renee gets away, throws one. That one falls Maybe it was hauled in. I couldn't see. I think it was incomplete on the far side. 2nd and 10 now for VIERA. No, it was hauled in for a loss of 1. And we got a timeout on the field with 5:14 to go in the game. The VIERA Hawks lead the Port Orange Hawks 15-6. It'll be 2nd and 11 for VIERA after this. Welcome back here live to VIERA Regional Park. 2nd and 10. VIERA at the Port Orange 31-yard line. Just over 5 minutes to go in the game. Movement before the play. That'll be a false start. Now 2nd and 15 will be it for VIERA from the Port Orange 36-yard line here, as there was movement before the play. Just over 5 minutes to go in this one. Hawks lead by 9. The VIERA Hawks, that would be. Second and 15 now for VIERA at the Port Orange 36-yard line. Renee under center. Renee, ball on the ground. Still back, still out. Luckily, someone scooped that one up. That's going to be a big loss. 3rd and long now for VIERA at the Port Orange 40-yard line. 3rd and 19 now for VIERA. Here's the clock, ticks under 5 minutes to go. Third and 19 for VIERA now from the Port Orange 40-yard line. Big play here, under 4 minutes, 4.5 minutes to go here in this one. 3rd and 19. Renee drops in the shotgun, throws out the backfield. Richardson overthrown, a dangerously thrown ball there. 4th and 19 now for VIERA from the Port Orange 40. I expect a punt here and nothing less on 4th and 19. .4:22 to go in the game. VIERA has 4th and 19 from the Port Orange 40. I expect a punt, but if they don't, it might just be to put a few more yards, put Port Orange a little bit farther back. Nope, punt formation here for VIERA with 4:22 to go. They lead by 9, and they're punting from the Port Orange 40-yard line. Flag on the play. Offsides on Port Orange. That'll make it 4th and 14 now for VIERA at the Port Orange 35-yard line. I still expect a punt on 4th and 14, but I guess we'll see. Yeah, punt formation still out there for VIERA. 4th and 14 now from the Port Orange 35-yard line. No, that's not punt formation. I don't know what I was thinking. I didn't see Renee under center. He gives to Richardson for a short game, but definitely not enough for a first down. So a turnover on downs there by VIERA. Port Orange will take over 1st and 10 at their own 31-yard line with 4:15 to go in the game. So now Port Orange takes 1st and 10 from their own 30-yard line here. 4:15 to go. They trail by 9. Got to score pretty quick here and then get the ball back if they want to win this game. So here they go. First down, Port Orange at their own 31-yard line. Elijah Tillman at quarterback, trips right side, 5 wide in the set for Port Orange. Drop. Tillman, quick screen, finds Faffel. Faffel trying to turn it up the sideline. He'll be brought down after a short gain. That'll bring up about a 2nd and 8 here up to their own 33-yard line. Up to the 34. 2nd and 7 now for Port Orange. Timeout, Port Orange here. 3:35 to go in the game. VIERA leads Port Orange 15-6. Port Orange will have a 2nd and 7 coming up.
What a day we've had. All but two of these games went down to at least the final half quarter of play.
That's for sure.
The only ones that weren't were the 6U game, where I don't think we keep score, but the people here kept score on the scoreboard, and the 12U game, which I'm happy for SUNTREE VIERA 12U, but my heart also went out to the 12U of Port Orange.
So here we go. 2nd down and 7 for Port Orange. And there's a flag. That'll be a false start on the near receiver. Saw him jump. That'll make it 2nd and 12 now for Port Orange. Back at their own 29-yard line.
And in a situation like this, you can't have that happen.
Not at all. 2nd and 12 now for Port Orange, back at their own 28-yard line. Second and 12 here. Tillman pump fakes, rolling out of the pocket, trying to get out, trying to go up the middle, and he's met by a VIERA defensive line led by number 47, Kobe Wallace. And we have timeout on the field. Timeout, Port Orange, now 3:23 to go in the game. They trail 15-6, and they have a 3rd and 13 coming up. Welcome back to VIERA Regional Park. 3rd and 13 coming up for the Port Orange Hawks. They trail 15-6 in this one in the 14U finale. Elijah Tillman in the gun here, 5 wide, trips right side. Tillman drops, rolls, steps up in the pocket, airing it out over the middle, into coverage, incomplete. He was looking for his man, number 15. Dominic Quinones, and that'll bring up 4th and 13. Last chance, most likely, here for Port Orange.
I'm Dominic Quinones, and this is What Would You Do? I'm sorry, whenever I hear the last name Quinones, that's immediately where my mind goes.
4th and 13 now for the Port Orange Hawks from their own 28-yard line. Big, probably their last big chance here with 3:13 to go to give themselves a shot as they trail by 9. Both these teams so far shut out in the second half, as this was our score at halftime. Here they go. Tillman throwing near side. Overthrows his man. Just barely overthrows Kenneth Lampkin. And that'll be a turnover on downs. First down, Vieira at the Port Orange 28-yard line. And with 3:06 to go, their goal is just to put this game away, either on time or by scoring.
I think Port Orange might have 2 timeouts. I think they can stop the clock twice.
I think they have 1. I remember 2 taken on the last drive. I believe in succession.
Okay.
First and 10 for Vieira at the Port Orange 28-yard line. Renee drops, throws over the middle, has Slade Pulliam. Slade Pulliam over the middle, pushing towards the goal line. And he'll be brought down to the Port Orange 6-yard line. First and goal, Vieira. Big strike over the middle to Pulliam. Under 3 minutes to go in this one. First and goal, Vieira up to the Port Orange 7-yard line. And a touchdown would definitely be a nail in the coffin of this one. Renee under center, drops, quick screen. Finds his man on the outside, trying to turn it upfield. He won't be able to. That was number 88, Dylan Arroyo. Pretty much no gain there. Second and goal at the 6 now on the gain of 1. 2:27 to go in the game. Second and goal. Quick screen the other way. Slade Pulliam hauls it in, looking for space. Not finding any. Pulliam trying to get around the edge. He'll be brought down after a short gain. Third and goal. Vieira at the 3-yard line. And we got a Port Orange timeout here. Timeout Port Orange. 2:11 to go in the game. Vieira leads 15-6, and Vieira has third and goal at the 3-yard line coming up.
Jackson, what are you doing here?
You know, honestly, either the screen to Pulliam again or try and give something to the running back, Donovan Richardson. I think Richardson's been electric off the edge, but haven't really seen him go up the middle much. They've used number 44 also, Riker Thomas, but I wouldn't try and get any deeper passing plays or anything too complicated. Keep it simple at the goal line and just try and punch it in here. Most likely 2-down territory. Here we go, third and goal. Vieira at the 3-yard line. 2:11 to go. They lead by 9. They being the Vieira Hawks, who also have third and goal. Here they go. Third down and goal. Renee up the middle. There is Riker Thomas, but the defense is on him fast. Number 77. On the tackle, Logan Scott. And just like that, fourth and goal, Vieira at the Port Orange 5-yard line. A big fourth and goal here.
They're gonna hurry it.
Try and keep the defense off here, but defense gets set. Fourth and goal. Renee, high snap over his head. Renee scoops it up way far back here. He's got to throw something. He will. Throwing it away there. And that'll be a turnover on downs. First and 10 for Port Orange at their own 5-yard line. Avoiding disaster there by Renee. Ball on the ground and had to throw it. And throwing it away was onto the field of play. Luckily, no turnover, nothing set up. And now that pins Port Orange at their own 5-yard line for first and 10 with a minute and a half to go. And we've seen crazy things, but this one would be pretty crazy if they could pull it out. Minute and a half, got to go 95 yards and then score again. No one's saying they can't, but it ain't going to be easy. Here we go. Still at the break here.
Timeout was called.
A timeout was called. 1:32 to go in the game. Port Orange trails Vieira 15-6. It'll be first down Port Orange after this break. Well, actually, it's first down and 10 for Port Orange at their own 20-yard line. I'm wondering if they called intentional grounding or something of that nature. Or, I don't know. But first down and 10, Port Orange at their own 20-yard line. 1.5 to go. They trail by 9. Tillman in the gun. 5 wide. Trips right side. Tillman drops. Rolls. Blitz coming. Has to get rid of it. It is caught. Wait. Yes, hauled in. What a catch by number 15. And they got to keep moving. That was Dominic Quinones on the reception.
I was saying, Mike, there's got to be a sense of urgency here.
They can't huddle right now. I don't know what they're doing here. 1 minute to go. Unnecessary time being wasted here. When you got to go, under 1 minute to go now for Port Orange. Still 5 wide, trips right side. Tillman alone in the backfield. And the shotgun. 2nd and 1. Tillman drops. Fires over the top. Wide open. It's hauled in again by Quinones. He's still up. Trying to get out of bounds. He will. And a big catch again by Quinones. First down, Port Orange at their own 46-yard line. Clock stops. 44 seconds to go.
And there's going to be a timeout here as there is a Port Orange Hawk on the turf.
I believe that might be Tillman.
He's taking some hits today.
But he gets right back up now, and he'll get off under his own power. First down and 10 for Port Orange at their own 46-yard line. 44 seconds to go. They trail by 9. Now you remember that conversion that they couldn't convert on. That is all important now, as even a 1 or a 2-point conversion would have had it at 1-possession game. Now a 2-possession game.
Look, Tillman's been a gamer all game long. He has taken some hits. He has taken some shots after throwing the football. You have to believe in this situation he's not going down unless he felt like he couldn't get back up.
Clock continues to run now, 35 seconds, and they've got to hurry up here if they want a chance at this one. Under 30 seconds to go. Faffel now in the gun. Rolling right side. Immediate pressure as no one blocks there for Faffel. Unblocked. Renee comes in for the sack. And I'm going to call that one the game-sealing sack as the clock looking like it's going to run out on this one. And the VIERA Hawks 14U end off their day. The Hawks of VIERA go 4-2 on the day. And the VIERA Hawks win the 14U game in a scoreless second half, 15-6.
What a game. What a day we've had. SUNTREE VIERA goes 4-2 on the day. And we'd like to thank everyone who tuned in all day with us. We'd like to thank the fans who were so gracious to us. And Jackson, I'd like to thank you for coming up here and doing this with me, because it's been a long day.
Yeah, it has. And yeah, I'm glad to be here. It was a long one, but a fun one. And youth football being back is fun, all levels of football, and looking forward to doing this, more often.
Absolutely. Well, we're going to get out of here. Thank you to everyone affiliated with SUNTREE VIERA. For Jackson, I'm Caleb. Have a good night, and be like Motel 6 and leave the light on for us.